Hi, I'm Barbara from Bee's Kitchen and Garden, and today I have a wonderful recipe for you for stuffed portobello mushrooms. Look at those. You can use them as a side dish. You can cook two and use them as your whole dinner. They even work well preserved in the refrigerator for a day or so. So today, let's learn how I make stuffed with spinach portobello mushrooms. Let's look at our mushrooms first. Here we have two beautiful portobello mushrooms, and here I have three large white button mushrooms. When you pick out your mushrooms, make sure if you can that the stems are in and the mushroom itself is closed around the stem. As the mushrooms get older, that opens up. So if you're seeing all the gills, that mushroom's been around a while. And your better flavor and your better cooking mushrooms are when they're closed up. Now a little bit about mushrooms. Did you know mushrooms are grown? At least 47%, so almost half of the mushrooms used in the U.S. are grown in Chester County, Pennsylvania. And how do you grow mushrooms? Well, initially what they did is they mixed soil with horse manure. And boy, did that produce beautiful mushrooms. They now have it down to quite a science, but you still need manure and good dirt. And they say when you drive by the mushroom farms, there's a bit of a smell, so you know you're in mushroom country. I've washed our mushrooms and used a scrubby sponge, the scrubby side of a sponge. I use a sponge with two sides and use the scrubby side. And as you can see, they've come out beautifully. I'm also preparing the button mushrooms because if I have extra filling, then we might as well put it in those and have some extra mushrooms. So to get the stems out, you push gently from different sides on your stem and it pops right out. And here's this one. Pushing, pushing, and it pops right out. And the same thing on the little buttons. These are nice and firm. I like them when they're firm. Ah, there we go. So that one's going to come out more in pieces, I think. There we go. But the portobello mushrooms, and by the way, if you ask what's the difference between a portobello and a portobello mushroom, no difference. It's the same thing, just pronounced a different way. Okay, so I see that we are scooping. I prefer to scoop out this part that was around the stem and then scoop out the gills. If you scoop out the gills, it gives you a lot more room for your yummy stuffing. So let's scoop out the gills on our two big mushrooms. Now that we have the mushrooms cleaned, there's one thing I want to show you. Not everyone will tell you this when you're doing stuffed mushrooms or when you're making stuffed mushrooms. Mushrooms have a lot of water in them. And very often you may say, what happened? My filling is mushy, it's watery, it's terrible. Well, what you need to do is first bake the mushrooms by themselves. And the water will drain into the mushroom. It will drain out. So we're putting all of our mushrooms on a pan and we're going to bake them for 15 minutes at 375 in my toaster oven. Okay, while the mushrooms are baking, let's start on our filling. First thing I'm going to do is take a half a cup of chopped onions and a half a cup of red bell peppers. I'm going to saute them in the pan with a tablespoon of olive oil. And we're going to saute them at a very low temperature because, as you probably know, onions will burn very quickly. So you want to make sure that it's not too high of a temperature. So I'm going to let that warm up a little bit. I see a little piece of a stem on this one. I'm going to take that off. There we go. And get our pan warmed up. And once it's warm, we'll put in the onions and the red peppers, and that's going to be part of our stuffing. Okay, I think this is ready. Okay, onions and red peppers, cook away. For our stuffing, for our mushrooms, we're going to use ricotta cheese, and I use 3 heaping spoonfuls, tablespoons, of ricotta cheese. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. Next, I'm going to put in 1 cup of chopped spinach. So we have 3 heaping tablespoons of ricotta cheese and chopped spinach, 1 cup. The spinach I chopped for the pieces to look about that big. That's fine because they're going to cook in the mushrooms, and so they will, as you know with spinach, they cook down to be smaller. Add to this mixture some more good flavorful items. First of all, I'm going to add a tablespoon again, 2 moderate tablespoons of shredded Parmesan cheese. 1, 2, that gives it nice flavor. Okay, let's mix this in. Then you want to salt and pepper to taste. I use just a little bit of salt. Always check how much salt you've got. And a few shakes of pepper. So salt and pepper to taste. Your taste may vary from mine. And after you do this a few times, you'll know exactly how much you need for your specific taste buds. Oh boy, this is looking good. It's in there. It's all mashing up. Move this out of the way. And getting a nice gooey filling. Okay, let's check our onions and red peppers that are sauteing in the pan. We're going to wait a few more minutes because the onions should be a little more transparent than they are now. Our mushrooms are done, 15 minutes at 375 degrees. Let's see how they look. Oh, my goodness, look at all that mushroom juice in there. And we don't really want mushy filling. So this is what I do. I take a paper towel and I just soak up the juice. I really don't want all that juice in there with my filling. It's hot. You can let them cool, but remember they're still hot. They were just in the oven. And they're going to be ready to fill. Let's check our onions again. Sorry, did I move too fast? Oh, by the way, I want to give great credit to Marcy Macris, my videographer. She does a great job. And sometimes she gets to eat the results. Okay, these look like they're about ready. So we'll turn them off, let them cool just a little bit before we add them to our stuffing. Our onions and red peppers have cooled a bit, so now they're going into our stuffing mix, which gives us spinach, ricotta cheese, Parmesan cheese, salt and pepper, and now onions and red peppers. Yummy, yummy, yummy. I'm making 2 large Portobello mushrooms, stuffed mushrooms today. You can cut the recipe in half for 1, which I love to cook just for lunch. Or you can use them for dinner, or you can use them as a side for your dinner. So they're so versatile. They go with anything. The spinach is good. Everything in here is delicious. And it's very healthful. Okay, looks like the stuffing is mixed. Let's go ahead and stuff our mushrooms. Yummy, yummy, yummy. So, here we go. Whee! Oh my goodness, I'm getting hungry. I like them stuffed really full. And now I'm going to put just a little bit of decoration on. Some bell pepper, some different colors of bell pepper to make it look extra nice. And we'll do one more. It's got room for a little guy here. We'll put that one in. And then we're going to take some Parmesan cheese and sprinkle it over the top. I had enough stuffing for 2 extra mushrooms. I'm not going to put the decoration on because they're so tiny, but I am going to put Parmesan cheese on the top. Now, they go in the oven, again, 375 for 15 minutes. It's been 15 minutes. Let's see how our stuffed mushrooms look and taste. Oh my! And you'll notice there's still a little bit of juice. I'm so glad we took out the juice that we did because there's more here. And again, it's hot, but I've got a paper towel. I'll soak up a bit. And my other paper towel here, soak up some more, just so that we don't have mushy mushrooms. And here are our 2 salad plates for our sides for dinner. And we'll take this guy and put him right here, and this guy, and put him right here. And I've got 2 wonderful button mushrooms that I can save, put in the fridge, and eat for lunch tomorrow. So here are our stuffed portobello mushrooms. Thanks for watching.